Uncle Scrooge, only a poor old man. If you had a fortune of umpteen centrifugal illion dollars, what would you do with it? Well, rich Uncle Scrooge McDuck has that much money, and this is what he does with it. I dive around in it like a porpoise. His nephew Donald Duck thinks the old boy is slightly money-struck. Yes, Uncle Scrooge, and you burrow through it like a gopher. Blobbity blob blob blob. And I toss it up and let it hit me on the head. Maybe you'd be different, but that is all Uncle Scrooge ever does with his money. Now that I've had my recreation for the day, let's go in my office and talk business. I asked you to come over, nephew, because I think you need my wise advice. Money bin, keep out. You're getting along to the age, nephew, where you should be a success, like me. Yes, rich. There is no greater comfort in having a fortune like mine. Bzzz. Just a minute. Bang. I got him, a moth. He could have eaten holes in $1 million of my money. Click. Aha. Got him, a rat. He could have chewed up $1 billion in greenbacks. Yes, as I was saying, there's no greater comfort than having money, lots of money. You figure I'd feel safe and secure and all that sort of stuff. Yes, just a minute. That spider could have short-circuited the burglar alarm. I've got to be watching for such things. Now, if you just stop spending your money and start saving it, zip bam. Worst year for moths I ever saw. You'd have to do without movies and vacations and silly pleasures like that, but eventually you'd have real pleasure like I've got it. And after I'd stashed away a fortune, I could swim around in it like you do. That's right, nephew. That's the idea. You're probably wondering where your next meal is coming from while I clank, rattle, grind. What the blazes is that? Oh my stars, somebody's bought the lot next door to my money bin, and they're moving in stuff to build a building. What's wrong with building a building? You ignoramus, that building could be a blind for the biggest robbery in history. I don't get it. Whoever's in that building could punch holes in my wall and drain out my money. Oh, woe is me, I'll be a poor old man. Uncle Scrooge is having a fit. I'll have to go down and see what these builders are up to. No doubt they're just honest men trying to earn an honest living. Uh-oh, I take it back. They're the Beagle Boys. Move in more shovels, we've got to dig a deep cellar for our building. Yeah, a deep cellar, ha ha. They're the most awful gang of crooks in the country. Uncle Scrooge is in for trouble. Put on your fright wig, Uncle Scrooge. It's the Beagle Boys. The Beagle Boys? The terrible Beagle Boys? Insects and rodents robbing me on the inside, and now the Beagle Boys on the outside. They won't get away with it. I'll stop them right now. Cronk. We shouldn't try any rough stuff. We wouldn't try any rough stuff if we were you, Mr. McDuck. Oh, how much trouble can a man have? You were telling me that what a comfort your money is. Stop arguing with me and help me get that moth. The darn fool government should print money on tin. Spray the curtains for spiders while I reset the rat traps. And close the windows. The Beagle Boys will get a ton of dust on my money. 5 minutes later. Hello, Huey, Louie, and Dewey. Come over here and help me take care of Uncle Scrooge. He's caved in. And bring that old tight-wad a sandwich. I bet he hasn't had time to eat for a week. Later. I suppose you boys wonder why I love my money so much. Yes, we kind of like to know. Well, all this money means something to me. Every coin in here has a story. How did you make all this money, Uncle Scrooge? In the banking business? Banking? Snort. I made it on the seas and in the mines and in the cattle wars of the old frontier. I made it by being tougher than the toughies and smarter than the smarties, and I made it square. This silver dollar, 1898. I got that in the Klondike. Froze my fingers to the bone digging nuggets out of the creeks, and I bought a fortune out instead of spending it at the honky-tonks. Dawson's Gambling Palace, Casino, dancing, you tightwad. And this dollar, 1882. I got that in Montana, where I punched cows while I looked for a homestead. The other waddies laughed at me when I filed on a claim that was all mountains and rock. Ha ha. But I'd poked around and I knew that under the scrubby grass was 1/3 of the world's known copper. You'd love your money too, boys, if you got it the way I did, by thinking a little harder than the other guy, by jumping a little quicker. You better start jumping again. The Beagle Boys are digging like beavers. The Beagle Boys, come on, common thieves. I'm rested now. I'll take care of them. Is there any way to stop them, Uncle Scrooge? Not legally. I have to move my money to some safe hiding place. But that much money, they'd see you moving it. They'd hijack your money on the streets. No, they won't. I'll fool them, like I fooled the brigands of Mongolia years ago. Get out of sight. Boys, you trail those trucks and see where they're hauling that dirt. Donald, you go to a store and buy some things for me. I'll give you a list. That talk with the kids did me good. I feel like my old self again. Like the Scrooge that gummed up the James boys and outfoxed the Daltons. Ta-da! Later. The Beagle Boys are dumping that dirt in the old reservoir on Cedar Creek. Good. I'll call up the owner and buy that reservoir, on the QT of course. That night. Hammer that chisel, Donald. We'll soon have a hole through the wall of my money bin. Huey, Louie and Dewey, be ready to hand up that chute and trap door. Yes, Uncle Scrooge. Morning. Finds the Beagle Boys eagerly digging their cellar. Clank, toot, thud, bong, McDuck building. I still can't figure what you're up to, Uncle Scrooge. Notice that their trucks always stop before they drive down to be loaded. Well, it so happens that we put that money chute right where they stop. Watch when I pull this trip rope. Tinkle, tinkle. Now, they'll dump some dirt on top of the money and haul the whole works out to my reservoir. Uncle Scrooge, you sly old fox. Yep, the Beagle Boys are moving my money for me, and they don't even know it. The Beagle Boys haul and haul. Jiminy crickets, it's taking a lot of hauling to move that little cellar full of dirt. But at last, we finally got our cellar dug. Now we can put up our building. And then, oh boy, more days of toil and building. Tomorrow we puncture old Scrooge's wall. Comes the big moment. Stand back, we'll fill our cellar with a gusher of money. Uh-oh, empty. Meanwhile, Uncle Scrooge and the ducks have been busy at the reservoir. Plant more landmines, I need rings of them all the way around the lake. Donald, hook booby traps to every tree. Gotta fix it so that nobody can get within blocks of this place. You boys are getting paid for this, of course. I put you on the payroll at 30 cents an hour. It'll take the Beagle Boys several weeks at least to figure out what became of my money. Meanwhile, I can be screening it out of the mud down there. Chug, chug. Beautiful sight, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful. But now that I've got it up here, what'll I do with it? If I spread it on the banks to dry, people might see it. And if I leave it down there, the mud will rot the greenbacks. Maybe I wasn't so smart after all. Oh me, oh my. Let's see. When I was salvaging treasure on the Spanish Main, I found lots of papers on the sea bottom. Old charts and letters that never decayed because they were sealed in jars. That's the ticket. I'll put my greenbacks in jars and sink the whole caboodle back to the bottom of the reservoir. Won't that be something? A lake of money with a film of water on top so nobody will know the money is there. All goes well, and after several weeks of labour, the old reservoir looks a placid pond. I must say, you've finally got a safe hiding place for your money, Uncle Scrooge. Yep. But sigh, there's something lacking. What's that? I miss my daily swim, my money swim, that is. I can't get into submerged money and dive around like I used to. The water cramps my style. Give me a hand. We'll scrape up a little island of it, just enough for me to burrow around in for a while. You're taking an awful chance. Somebody might see you. I know, but what's the use of having money if I can't have fun with it? The Beagle boys are about to give up. We've searched every house in town and we can't find the old guy's money. How did he get it out of that bin? And where did he take it? I've gone half crazy from thinking. I've gone half crazy from working. I'm going fishing. You are half crazy. Where are you going to catch any fish around here? At the old reservoir. Used to be trout in there when I was a kid. So it goes. The beast, the best laid plans of mice and men. Stand by to rescue me if I knock myself out. Oh boy, money. I love to dive around it like a porpoise and burrow through it like a gopher and toss it up and let it hit me on the head. Keep out. What the blazes? Who put up a fence here? And there's lots of funny wire on the trees like booby traps. Nobody could be that finicky about strangers doing a little fishing. I'll shinny up this tree and see what's the pitch. Ock walk. Oh, hee-ha-ha. Now that I've had my recreation, we'll level off the island again. A few minutes later, nobody must know there's umpteen fantastica tillion dollars gurgling under these waves. Like I was telling you, nephew, with a fortune like mine, you could feel secure. I'd have nothing to worry about, Uncle Scrooge. That's right. Peace of mind, like I've got it, nephew, plus the pleasure of diving around in your money from time to time. Sounds like great stuff. Well, since everything is under control, boys, I won't be needing your help anymore. Well, figure up how much I owe you and I'll pay you off. You've already got it figured, Uncle Scrooge. You owe us $80. $80? That's an awful lot of money to part with all at one time. Oh me, oh my. There must be some way to shave it down a little. Quit stalling. I've got it. I'll let you fish for your money. Here, you can cast these purses and whatever coins you hook, you can have. Oh boy, that sounds like a good deal. It is a good deal for me. This is the end where I sunk the pennies. Yippee! Here goes. I hope I catch $1 million. Can we go fishing too? Ye cats, the Beagle boys. The Beagle boys have discovered my money. They'll be coming in here with tanks and helicopters and hauling it away. Ah, simmer down. They can't rob you that openly.